Hello and welcome to this edition of Talk Vietnam. There's an old saying by Publius Cyrus that goes, good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings. And while every one of us hopes for a healthy body and mind, not every one of us is blessed in such ways. For our guest today, his journey started at the mere age of 4 years old when a hole in his heart was discovered. And since then, down the line, he has been able to achieve great things, going on to be named in the Guinness World Records twice for his impeccable memory and also for his strength. He is Dr. Biswaroop Roy Chowdhury. He is a medical nutritionist, well known all over the world, and he is now continuing to inspire others with ways in order to change their lifestyles and to improve their health at the same time.
Dr. Biswarup Roy Chowdhury was born in 1973 with a severe heart disease. He has been constantly researching medical and mental improvement methods. By practicing eating following special regime and using memory techniques, he was awarded 2 Guinness records for mental and physical records. His record was 198 push-ups in 1 minute, and a memory record that defeated German record holder Michael Butterfordova. He has written over 25 books on mind and medicine. He invented the happiness meter, the smart pen, mnemonic pen, and founded the Memory Center in India. His books are translated into 18 languages such as Hindi, English, Marathi, Nepali, Bengali, and Telugu.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you.
One of the things that a lot of our guests, and myself included, are very curious about is your journey. This journey from being, having quite a childhood that was with heart disease, and somehow overcoming that in order to be, named in the Guinness World Records. So, can you please share with us this journey? How did it begin? From the moment that you discovered from doctors that there was a hole in your heart.
Yeah, it was about 1978, right? So at the time, I was suffering from fever off and on. And then the doctor discovered there was a hole in the heart. And as the age progressed, the hole will become bigger. So that was the time there was a surgery, a major surgery. It is called major heart surgery. Although the heart, the hole was closed, but there was a lot of restriction. And that remained with me till the time I was in college.
When in your recovery did you discover that perhaps you can help yourself to train your memory or train your mind in order to help the rest of your body improve?
Yeah, interestingly, not in my school life. I was just an average, very, very hardworking student in my school life. So even in the college life, it was never happened. By the end of the college life, when I saw that all the study I've done, schooling and college, but there was nothing of that sort. That was the time I thought that I have to go beyond it. Yes. So that was the beginning. It was just one question which inspired me, that there are 2 kinds of students. One who study hard, even then get average marks. Other who with a small amount of study he is able to get first rank, second rank, very good marks. So why 2 are different, right? So that question I really wanted to find an answer. So that was the journey. I cannot name any one book or any one incident, but it was this question which inspired me to find an answer, find a solution, and that's how the search began.
What did you do first, and how did this path to a solution begin?
I started with reading the books on mind, reading the books on memory. I understood one thing: whatever you want in life, first create that in your imagination, as if you've already achieved it. So the brain will attract those information, those knowledge, those resources, those people who can help us to take to that stage.
One of the techniques that you first took up in order to strengthen your mind power was training your memory.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us about this? Why did you think about memory training?
There are certain cells which never change. There are cells of the memory. They keep the recording of the past, right? And accordingly, they transfer that recording to the present. This means if you have some disease in the past, right, about 10 years back, 15 years back, the disease keeps on happening. For example, if there is a scratch, right, or some wound, even if the wound is healed, after many years, still there is you can see a scar is there, right?
Yes.
That is because of the memory cells, the brain cells. They keep the memory, they keep the recording. This means first we have to understand the memory. So it is the memory cells which defines your personality, which defines your illness, which defines your health. If you understand that, rest of the things can be controlled easily.
How did your kind of journey to being recognized as the Guinness World Records for memory begin? Because everyone's quite curious about that. It's quite an amazing feat.
For that, every day I used to practice about 8 hours or 10 hours for that record.
That's like being like a brain athlete.
Yeah, that is just to achieve a feat, right? But you need not to work so hard to strengthen your memory for our day-to-day routine things.
Yes.
For that, even 5 minutes of mental brain exercise, but make it lifelong practice. Like you brush your teeth every day. It's not that you brush for some time and then you forget.
Yes.
Similarly, mental muscles, the brain muscles, they need to get the feeding, and that feeding is when you do some visualization exercise.
Let's go back to kind of the first days when you were training, thinking about training your memory. How did that process begin? How difficult was that?
It was really enjoyable. So the first step, if anybody who is listening right now, they want to start like me, they remember one rule, that human brain is made in such a way, whatever you see, you remember that much more than whatever you hear.
Can you give us an example? Is that similar to kind of having like when people say having a photographic memory? Is that the same?
Yeah, you can call it a photographic memory. Okay, I'll give you one example. Do it like this.
Yes.
Now imagine that you're holding a bucket.
A bucket.
Now you're pouring some potato in the bucket, right? The bucket is full. And at the top of the potato you put a pen. At the top of the pen a cat is sitting. The cat is holding a cup, but inside the cup you see a ball of yellow color. Now open the ball. Inside the ball you see a book.
Now try again. Okay. I'm holding a bucket.
Yeah.
And inside the bucket there is where you are pouring some water.
Potato.
A potato. And then on the potatoes is a pen.
Yes.
And on the pen is a cat.
Yes.
And
cat is holding something.
A cat is holding a cup.
Okay. Now look inside the cup.
Inside the cup.
Can you see a ball?
Yes, a ball.
Black or white or yellow?
Yellow.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yes. So that just comes to show that my memory is not really good. I think I was trying to picture it, but at the same time I was kind of looking at you and kind of picturing you.
You're trying to understand the whole thing rather than focusing on the part of it, right?
Yes.
So, but when you keep on doing for some time, the brain is like a muscle. When you use the muscle, it becomes stronger, right? After some time, it will be automatic. Whenever you hear something, automatically there is an image.
Yes.
It is not that you have to do it with the consciousness. It happens on its own.
Now, in his visit to Vietnam this time, Dr. Chowdhury has held a workshop in order to work with young Vietnamese in the ability to maximize their brain power, sharing his experience in order to help them apply these methods in their daily life, work, and study. We'll take a look at one of these sessions in the following.
69 79 84
This is not the first time Dr. Chowdhury has held a conference in Vietnam to share his knowledge on how to strengthen the ability of one's brain to improve his memory. In late 2016, Dr. Chowdhury came to Vietnam to share how to apply this technique as a useful tool for young students learning English. His method focuses on using visual techniques to memorize vocabulary faster and more effectively.
Em thì có tham gia 1-2 khóa hội thảo như thế này về cải thiện trí nhớ của mình, nhưng mà đa số là sẽ là việc cải thiện trí nhớ, ghi nhớ về những cái công việc bên ngoài thôi ạ. Còn để mà có một phương pháp siêu trí nhớ về học tập tiếng Anh thì đây là lần đầu tiên em tham gia. Em nghĩ là sau cái buổi gặp mặt thầy hôm nay ạ, thì em về em sẽ thay đổi cái phương pháp học tập tiếng Anh của mình, và chắc chắn là sẽ thay đổi cái cách mà em ghi nhớ tiếng Anh. Thay vì việc là chỉ viết ra giấy để ghi nhớ thôi, thì bây giờ em sẽ gắn nó với các hình ảnh hoặc âm thanh để ghi nhớ nó tốt hơn ấy ạ.
Thông thường thì mình thấy rằng để mà ghi nhớ một cái từ ngữ bằng tiếng Anh thì rất là khó, bởi vì là não mình thường là không thân thiện với cái từ ngữ, và khi mà mình liên kết nó với hình ảnh thì mình lại nhớ rất là lâu.
He has been attempting to help students memorize better with less effort. Besides using the techniques he's shared, Dr. Chowdhury also invented a special pen called the mnemonic pen. According to Dr. Biswaroop, the human brain is like a box containing images and sound files. Based on this principle, he provides an English vocabulary learning method called PMS, or Person Meaning System, also known as the semantic system. This method encourages learners to analyze words, phrases, and texts into familiar images to themselves so they can remember the information better.
How did the brain kind of power strengthening and helping your memory help you in your life and in your health?
First step is building your imaginary brain, where your brain knows what is the power of imagination, what is the power of visualization. Second step is, now you think what you want in your life. You want to become fat, you want to become thin, you want to build your muscles, you want to lose some weight, or you want to cure a disease, right? You have to think what you want in life. At that time, my problem was a hole in the heart. Although I recovered from it through the surgery, but there was a complication of surgery itself. So I wanted to recover from that. So I made a mental picture that if in future I could do exercise, I could work, and I could have a same physique like any other person without any limitation, how it will look, what will be my behavior, how I will walk, how I will breathe, how I will feel, right? So I made a clear mental picture of that. And once you make a mental picture like that, how to achieve that? Brain will attract those knowledge. I started getting interested in reading those kind of books. I started modifying my behavior. It started with changing my food habit. So I changed drastically how I eat. But that knowledge, what to eat, also is a matter of those feedback from the brain, right? But how the brain gives feedback? Only when the brain knows what you want in reality. How the brain knows what you want in reality? When you remind the brain through the mental picture of your expected future. So now the brain will attract those information, those food, which can help you lead there, right? At the same time, it will hide those things which may be an obstruction in achieving that goal. For example, some people, some friend around who will pursue, who will force me to have a drink with them. So somehow brain will switch off an interest in them. If I see them around, I will not find them interesting anymore. Even they will not find me interesting anymore. So after some time, we will be dissociating.
Yes, that gives a kind of a literal meaning to when someone says, you can do it if you just put your mind to it.
Of course, of course.
Yes.
It is a mental reminder on daily basis. We should be able to remember what we really want in life. But on the contrary, people, they think of something which they don't want.
Yes.
I don't want to be fat. So if I keep on thinking I don't want to be fat, so in reality I'm thinking about fat.
True.
So my brain will pick up those things which can make me fat.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of thinking about what you don't want in life, you should focus on what you do want.
What we want, that is more important. What we don't want, there may be thousands of things. What you want can be only one or two things or few things in your hand.
Understanding kind of the characteristic or the anatomy of the brain can also help to maximize brain power. Can you please give us an example of this, of how understanding the structure of the brain can help one to maximize one's power?
The structure is very simple. One is the right part, the creative brain. One is the left part, the logical brain. The difference is logical, what you experience on its own brain save in logical brain. What you imagine as you are doing right now, brain save in creative brain, right part. So every day we have to feed both the brains, right? So this means every day we have to do something creative, something imaginative, something colorful, and that means our creative brain is being giving some feeding, food for the brain.
Yes.
Right, and every day we are doing the routine things, like every day you interview someone. So this is feeding in the left brain. So already we are feeding the left brain for all of us, because every day we do something, for example,
logical.
Something for the cameraman, every day is doing that work. So he's feeding the left brain. The problem is we don't feed the right brain. And if you're able to feed the right brain, right, by doing something creative, it is a balance. Yes. This means you will not be old quicker. You will remain young longer, and your brain is young, you are young.
They were diabetic and